Well, so what's your objection, sir? Yeah.
You're fine.
I'm gonna sustain it on other grounds.
When you say you guess, what do you mean?
You asking me so clearly, I must have did.
When did your issues with Shell Cal begin?
I don't know.
Did you tell Detective Thorpe that your issues with Shell Cal began maybe about 4 months prior to the death of Donovan Thomas?
I guess.
When you say you guess, what do you mean?
I mean, I guess I said that, I guess.
Do you know if your problems with Shell Cal began 4 months prior to the death of Donovan Thomas?
If I had a problem with Shell Cal, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay, and I'm asking you, when did those problems begin?
Say it again.
When did those problems begin with you and Shell Cal?
I don't know.
In your interview in January 11, 2015 with Detective Thorpe, did you tell Detective Thorpe, when asked about when your problems began, say 2 months, 3 months, I'm going to say no longer than 4 months?
Probably did. I don't know.
What were the problems that you had with Shell Cal?
A misunderstanding.
What was the misunderstanding?
I don't know.
Okay. Did you and him get into a fight at Club Crucial on the Monday before Donovan Thomas' death?
No.
You're saying you did not get into a fight with him that Monday?
I did not get into a fight with them. They put their hands on me.
Okay. What happened when they put their hands on you? Can you respond? What happened when they put their hands on you?
They ran out the club.
Who is they?
I don't know.
Did you tell Detective Thorpe about what happened between you and Shell Cal the Monday before Donovan Thomas was killed?
I guess.
When you say you guess, do you know if you told him about what happened that Monday?
Back then, my mind was all over the place, and whatever he asked me, I was just trying to get him out my face.
Okay. Do you recall in this same January 11, 2015 interview telling Detective Thorpe that you went to Club Crucial, you pulled out your money because you were on stage, you were flashing your money to all the girls were standing around, you were flashing your money. When you get off the stage, you were flashing money, and Cal and his whole crew walked up on me. You recall telling Detective Thorpe that back in your January 11, 2015 interview?
I probably did.
Then, do you recall telling Detective Thorpe that you looked up and you said to Cal, "What up, bro? What's going on?"
I probably did.
And that Cal didn't say anything, so he just said, "Hey, what's up?" You asked him, "What's up, bro?" And then he began asking you about Thug. Do you recall telling Detective Thorpe that?
I probably did.
Okay. And I need to know, is that a yes or a no? Did you tell him? Did you not tell him? Or do you not recall?
Answer the question, Your Honor. Object to follow the question.
Your Honor, he's saying he probably did. I'm asking yes, no.
I'm going to overrule the objection, Mr. Steele.
Did you say it? Did you not say it, or you don't recall saying it?
I said something to him, so if that's what he said I said, then
I'm asking, what do you remember? Do you remember telling him this or not? Or you don't
they
recall?
questioned me so many times and I told them something different every time they questioned me.
Okay.
I don't recall what I told this person.
Do you have an objection, Mr.
That
Sheriff?
person?
Oh, hold on, Mr. Copeland. Do you have an objection, sir?
I'm going to object.
Basis.
State giving limited options for the witness to answer.
Overruled, sir.
Multiple choice.
Overruled, sir.
So you say you don't recall what you told him?
Objection leading.
He answered your
I'm an overrule the objection, Mr. Sharp.
Can you say it again?
Sure. Did you tell Detective Thorpe that Kel wanted to speak with Thug at the club on that Monday before Nut passed away?
I said they have asked me questions about this so many different times. I have told them different things every time. I cannot tell you what, for 100% facts exactly what I have told him.
So do you not recall what you told him?
I said, I guess if he's
I sustain the objection.
Do you remember what you told Detective Thorpe about whether or not you told him?
It says ask and answer.
I sustain the objection.
Do you recall telling Detective Thorpe that after you told Kel that Thug was in the club, Kel began to...
Do you have an objection, sir? I'm overruling the objection, sir.
Kel took his necklace and put it inside of his shirt.
huh?
Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe that after Kel asked you about Thug, you then saw Kel put his necklace inside of his shirt?
I guess.
When you say you guess, do you recall telling him that or no?
Yeah, I said it, I guess.
And then when you saw him put his necklace inside his shirt, you then put your money inside of your pocket.
Yes.
Do you remember what happened after you put your money inside of your pocket?
They jumped on me.
Who is the they that jumped on you?
I didn't see nobody. I knew I was surrounded by a lot of people. I mean,
Was Kel one of the individuals that jumped on you?
I don't know if he hit me. I don't remember if it was him who hit me, somebody hit me, and when whoever hit me.
Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe that Kel punched you in the back of your head on that same January 11, 2015 interview?
He probably did.
He probably hit you, or did you probably tell?
Yeah, I said it.
Right. And did you also tell Detective Thorpe, so he punched me in the back of the head, then they pushed me to the ground. He tries to go in my pocket and take my money, but I hold on to my money. The other guy punched me all in the face, but I didn't care. I was holding on to the money.
Yes.
Okay. After they were punching you on the ground, do you remember if you ever got up?
Clearly.
Okay. What did you do after you got up? You laughed. What do you remember about after you got up?
I had a knot on my face.
Okay. And then what happened?
I was real mad.
All right. And then what happened?
Somebody was going to pay for their knot.
Okay. So then what happened?
I went home.
Did you go outside of the club right after you got off the ground?
I had to leave out the club.
Okay. And when you went out the club, did you see anyone outside of the club?
If that was that's it,
I'm asking you, what do you remember?
I guess.
Okay. Do you recall telling Detective Thorpe in his January 11th interview that when you got out of the club, Bloody J was outside of the club?
I guess.
You guess that you told him?
Yes.
All right. And when you got out of the club, what, if anything, happened to Bloody J?
What you mean?
Do you recall if anything happened to Bloody J when you got outside of the club?
You can't remind me?
Do you remember, yes or no?
No.
Okay. Do you recall telling Detective Thorpe that when you got outside of Bloody J, when you got outside the club, that two of your buddies went and beat up Bloody J?
I guess.
Okay. What two buddies beat up Bloody J?
Tell me. I don't recall.
You don't recall? Do you recall it being one of the individuals being Moonson?
Yes, I guess.
Don't say I guess. It's either
I
yes,
guess.
no, or you don't recall.
I ain't trying to say the wrong thing. So
So do you not recall?
Yes, Your Honor, the meeting.
I sustain the question.
Can't say what you
I don't need it. Just tell me the basis for the objection, Mr. Short, okay?
I need you to answer yes. Was it Moonson?
Overruled, Mr. Short.
Do you remember if it was Moonson or not remember if it was Moonson?
if he said that's what I said, then yes.
I'm asking you what happened.
I don't recall what happened. I was mad. I had a knot on my head.
Now, do you also recall speaking with Detective Thorpe about what happened at the Cascade skating rink before this fight at Club Crucial on the Monday before Donovan died?
I guess.
When you say you guess, do you recall or you don't recall?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell the jury what happened at the Cascade skating rink before this fight at Club Crucial.
What happened at Cascade?
Yes.
And nothing happened at the skating rink?
Yes.
Nothing.
Do you recall speaking with Kel at the skating rink?
That's what I told Detective Thorpe.
I'm asking you, what do you remember?
I don't remember nothing from 2015. I remember the fight. They put their hands on me.
Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe, actually before talking about what happened that Monday, that you and Kel were at the Cascade skating ring and the two of you actually spoke at the Cascade skating ring?
When I was talking to Detective Thorpe, I can't recall what I told him because I was just telling him anything.
Okay. Do you recall telling Detective Thorpe that at the Cascade skating ring, you wanted to speak with Kel and you said to Kel, hey, let me holler at you?
Not if you put no knot on my head.
This is before he put the knot on your head.
Objection to the proper question.
I'll ask a better question.
I sustain the question, sir.
Do you recall speaking to Kel before he put the knot on your head at Cascade skating ring?
I guess.
I need to know, yes, you remember, no, you don't remember, or you don't remember.
If you saying this what I told Thorpe, then this what I probably told him.
Do you remember speaking to Kel, period, at Cascade skating ring?
We wasn't on speaking term.
Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe that at the Cascade skating ring, you and Kel were standing right there and y'all talked about everything that you had against each other?
If I was somewhere around Shell Kill, I don't think we would be talking.
Okay. Did you also tell Detective Thorpe that as we talked, we said it was over? So it was like, we're over, we ain't beefing no more. Do you recall telling Detective Thorpe about that conversation you had with Shell Cal?
I guess.
It's not responsive. Do you recall or not recall telling Detective Thorpe that?
I told Detective Thorpe whatever he said, I told him.
Do you recall telling Detective Thorpe that on that same day at the Cascade skating ring, Kel wanted to speak with Thug?
Who?
Kel wanted to speak with Thug.
If I would have any chance to be around Sheriff Kell at any point, I would not been talking to him.
I understand what you're saying today. I'm asking you what you told Detective Thorpe.
And I told you that if I told Detective Thorpe anything, and he said I said it, then I probably did.
Okay. So did you also tell Detective Thorpe that you then called Thug on FaceTime for Kel and Thug to speak with each other?
When he checked my phone record, did he see that call?
I'm asking you, did you tell Detective Thorpe that on the Sunday at Cascade Skating Ring that you got Thug on FaceTime so Kel and Thug could speak? Yes or no?
If Detective Thorpe said I told him that, I told him that.
Okay. Do you remember that happening?
No.
Okay.
I don't remember me and Sheriff Kell ain't gonna talk.
All right. And then, do you remember telling Detective Thorpe, so him and Thug talked, and whatever was said with that, I don't know?
I probably told Detective Thorpe that.
And again, that was in your January 11, 2015 interview.
I guess.
Now, did you also tell Detective Thorpe about a shooting that occurred at a gambling house in Lakewood?
If that's what he said.
Do you recall a shooting at the gambling house in Lakewood? Do you recall a shooting at a gambling house in Lakewood?
No,
You do not?
I don't.
Okay. Do you recall telling Detective Thorpe in that same January 11, 2015 interview that there was a shooting over in Lakewood and that it was Kel and he was standing on top of a roof and shooting inside?
I probably did.
I need to know, do you remember telling him that or you don't remember telling him that?
When Detective Thorpe questioned me about what happened, I thought I was in there about 5 minutes. I thought I walked in and walked back out. So I don't know what I don't told him. I can't remember what I don't told him.
So you say you don't remember telling him about what happened at?
But if he said that I told him that, I'm telling you right now, I told him that. So can you start asking me what I supposed to told Detective Thorpe? Because I'm telling you now, if he said that I said anything about anything, I'm telling you, more likely I probably did.
Great. Well, I'm going to ask you about all the things that you talked to Detective Thorpe about. Did you also tell Detective Thorpe about the Friday before Nut was killed?
I guess.
Okay. On the Friday that Nut was killed, were you with Thug the Friday evening before Nut was killed?
No, you just said it earlier. Was I at the house? I said yes.
I'm talking about the Friday evening before Nut was killed.
I can't recall. Okay. I don't know what I don't told Detective Thorpe.
I'm asking you, what do you remember yourself?
No. When I think back about 2015, all I remember was getting a call saying that Nut was killed and I was responsible for it. And only thing besides that is people showing up my folks' houses. Details about what happened, all this stuff been blanked out my mind. Like, it been blanked out my mind.
All right. In that same January 11, 2000 interview, you recall telling Detective Thorpe that you were with Thug and you were at DJ Drama Studio.
I probably did.
Do you remember telling him, or you don't recall telling him? I need to have it.
If Detective Thorpe said I said it, I said it.
And then after leaving the studio, that is when you went over to your girl's house, which would be Deshawn's house.
I guess.
Now, earlier I asked you about what time you left Deshawn's home to go to your brother's house. Do you recall telling Detective Thorpe that you left Deshawn's home around 5 o'clock p.m.?
I guess.
When you say you guess, I need to know, do you recall telling him that or you don't recall telling him that?
If he said I said it, I said it.
And is that true or that not true that you left her home around 5 o'clock?
If you notice something about me, I don't keep up with the time or the days. I just go with the flow.
So do you remember it being around 5 o'clock p.m. that you left Deshawn's house?
I don't know what time I left her house.
When you went to Mechanicsville, do you remember seeing anyone in Mechanicsville?
What you mean?
You said earlier that on the night before Nutt's murder, on the day of, you left Deshawn's house and you went to Mechanicsville. Do you remember seeing anyone when you went to Mechanicsville?
I don't remember if I seen anyone.
Okay. Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe that you went to the Green store?
I guess.
I need to know, do you remember telling him or you don't remember telling him? Or was that a lie?
Faces.
Saying he's allowed to answer and they can force him to answer in the binary one or two ways.
Your Honor, his response are non-responsive to my question.
I'm going to over your objection, sir. Thank you.
So do you remember telling him? You don't remember telling him
Do I remember telling him what?
that you went to the Green store?
I probably did.
When you say you probably, I didn't know yes, no, or I don't recall.
Whatever Thorpe said I told him, I told him.
Okay. Do you remember telling him that you met with Little Rick at the Green store?
I probably did.
Yes, no, I don't recall.
You want me to?
Yes, sir, you may.
Yes, no, I don't recall.
If Thorpe said I said it, I said it.
Do you recall telling Detective Thorpe that while you were at the Green store, you called Little D?
I guess.
Did you tell him? Did you not tell him, or you don't recall telling him that?
If Thorpe said I said it, I said it.
Do you recall telling him that he told you he was on Cleveland Avenue?
I guess.
Yes, no, or I don't recall.
If Thorpe said I said it, I said it.
Now, when you got to Cleveland Avenue earlier today, you said that Little D and
He didn't
proper way to ask a question.
You're right.
I think she's oriented to time and place. I'm gonna rule the objection, sir.
Earlier today, you said that Little D and Shannon got into your vehicle. Do you recall saying that earlier today?
I think I did.
Okay. Back in January of 2015, did you ever tell Detective Thorpe? Your Honor, now I'm impeaching.
No impeachment when you don't ask the original foundation.
I'll rule the question, sir.
Did you ever tell Detective Thorpe that Shannon was in the vehicle with you and Little D back on the morning of January 10, 2015?
If he said I did, I did.
I'm asking you, did you? Because you're saying today, you're saying the truth, and back then,
To the commentary.
I sustain the objection.
did you ever tell Detective Thorpe that Shannon was in the vehicle with you?
I guess.
Back in 2015, you did not tell Detective Thorpe that Shannon was in the car with you.
Objection asked and answered.
I sustain the question.
In 2015, did you tell Detective Thorpe that only Little D got into the car with you?
I guess.
Did you say that to Detective Thorpe?
If he said I did.
Back in 2015, did you then tell Detective Thorpe that Little D told you that Nut just got killed?
Basis, sir.
You're safe.
Your Honor, do we address this?
I'm gonna rule the objection, sir.
Confrontation clause as well.
Your Honor, we
Overrule, sir.
today you said that you and Little D never talked about the murder, correct?
Today I said whatever I told Thorpe in 2015, I was trying to get him out my face. So I do not know exactly what I have told him.
Today, do you have an independent memory of what happened on January 10, 2015?
What you mean?
Do you have a memory outside of what you told Detective Thorpe about what happened on January 10, 2015?
Basis, sir.
Gave in
I did. Tell me the basis for your objection.
good faith belief question. He already gave a
I'm gonna overrule the objection, sir.
He was.
I'm going to object, asked and answered, Your Honor.
Overrule, sir.
Wait.
So today, do you have an independent knowledge of what happened on January 10 when you picked up Little D?
Can you say that one more time?
Sure. Today, without remembering what you told Detective Thorpe, what is your memory of your interaction with Little D on January 10, 2015?
But I don't have a memory. What you mean? Like,
Okay.
I just know that I picked up Lil D and Shannon, and that's when I got the call saying that I supposed to did this and did that.
And in January 2015, you never told Detective Thorpe that you picked up Little D and Shannon.
I guess.
Earlier, I asked you if Moontook FaceTimed you. And did you say you did not recall if Moontook FaceTimed you?
I know he called me. I don't know if it was FaceTime regular. All I know was I remember what came out of his mouth.
And in 2015, in January of 2015, you told Detective Thorpe that he FaceTimed you.
I guess.
Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe that or no?
Objection asked and answered.
Yeah, that's non-responsive. I guess it's non-responsive.
I'm gonna overrule your objection, sir. You can answer the question, sir.
I need to know if you remember or if you do not remember.
If he said I said it, then I said it.
Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe that?
Objection, Your Honor. It's been asked and
Overrule, sir.
That's not. Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe that he FaceTimed you?
I guess.
I guess it's non-responsive.
Your Honor.
Well,
I object to the
It's not responsive, Mr. Steele. I'm gonna overrule your objection.
Do you recall?
I don't know what I told the detective. I don't remember what I told the detective. Whatever his name is.
Thank you. So you don't remember if you told Detective Thorpe then?
I sustain his request, Mr. Fuller.
Now, do you remember back in January 2015 giving Detective Thorpe Moontoon's phone number?
I guess.
I guess it's not responsive.
Your Honor, that's not a proper question.
Overrule, sir.
I need you to respond. Do you remember?
I don't remember. I don't remember nothing I told Detective Thorpe.
All right.
So that's my response to every question you about to ask me. If it have anything to do with me speaking with him. It wasn't in my right state of mind. I don't have a clue.
Well, you're going to bear with me. I'm going to have to ask you the question specifically. You just
Okay,
say
you
I
can
don't
ask.
remember.
I just said.
Prosecutor, is it not?
Mr. Steele, overruled.
Do you remember today what Moontoon's number was back then?
Back then when?
Back in 2015.
No, I better know my phone number now.
All right. Do you remember giving him the number 404-662-8935?
I guess.
I need to know, do you remember or you do not remember?
Yeah, I did. I don't.
Do you remember what kind of car that Moontoon dropped you off in to take you to the police department on January 11, 2015?
I don't know. I don't know if he. I don't know. I don't know if he asked me. I don't remember what I told him.
Okay. Do you remember saying it was either bluish, grayish Malibu and it was rented?
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember telling him that?
Yes, I guess. Yes.
Earlier today, you said that you went down there because the police called you. Do you remember saying that?
You're repeating previous testimony.
Overruled, sir.
Do you remember saying that earlier today?
That's the only way I went down there.
Okay. Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe, I was asking everybody, should I go down there, bro? Because I didn't do it. I didn't do it. You can look at my phone records, but I didn't do it.
Yes.
All right. Yes, you remember telling him that?
If he said I said it, yes, I said it.
I need to know if you remember telling him that.
He said yes, and I don't know why there's further questions.
I'm gonna overrule the objection, Mr. Sharp.
Do you also recall telling Detective Thorpe that you also advised Moontoon that he should come down and speak with the police?
Yes.
When you just said yes, you kind of shrugged your shoulders. Why did you do that?
Overruled, sir.
Because you asked me questions.
Hold on, Mr. Overruled, sir.
Why did you just shrug your shoulder?
Because they my shoulders.
Okay. Was Kel the only person that you had problems with back in 2015?
Objection, Your Honor.
I'll stay in this form.
Let me ask you, did you have any issues with Nut in 2015? Why'd you chuckle?
Huh?
I asked you if you had any issues with Nut, and then you said, and you chuckled. Why?
Your Honor, there was a question posed. You can't ask another question. It's my objection.
Overrule, sir. Overrule. I'm going to overrule it, okay, for the time being.
It's to answer the original question.
Sir, I've overruled your objection, okay?
So I'll ask you first, why did you chuckle when I asked the question?
I don't know.
Okay. So did you have an issue with Nut back in 2015?
I don't think I did.
All right. And did you tell the police that the only person you had a problem with was Kel?
Yes.
Now, after the murder of Donovan Thomas, did you try to call Bloody J?
That what I said?
I'm asking you, what do you remember?
I guess.
Do you remember or do you not remember?
What I'm trying to call Bloody J for?
Okay. So do you not remember calling Bloody J?
But what would I need to talk to him for?
So do you not remember calling Bloody J?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember. I don't recall.
All right. Do you recall telling Detective Thorpe in that same January 11th interview that you called Bloody J on the phone?
Yes.
So why would you want to call Bloody J?
You need to tell me.
I'm not you, so why
I'm
would
saying,
you
you
want...
know what I supposed to say?
I'm asking you now.
I don't know. I don't have a clue. Why would I want to call him?
Did you attempt to call anyone else the night that Donovan Thomas was murdered to tell them that you did not kill Donovan Thomas?
Say that again?
On January 10, 2015, did you attempt to call anyone who was affiliated with If Gang so that you can tell them that you did not kill Donovan?
I ain't doing no calling nobody.
Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe first that you tried to call Bloody J and that there was someone else that you could call, but it's no use?
Yes.
Now, course indulgence for one moment.
I didn't hear you.
I said course indulgence for one moment.
Huh? You done me?
Do you recall Detective Thorpe asking you about an Infinity car on January 11, 2015?
I guess.
Do you remember him asking you, or you don't remember he asked you?
When this is what I remember from talking to Detective Thorpe. I walked in the homicide building. He said, "Hey man, I still got a bite on the street. You came in here? I don't think you did it." That's how they went to me. So you asked me these questions. I don't remember having a conversation with him, so I ain't saying I didn't. If you saying he said I did have this conversation with him, then I did. But I don't remember him. I don't remember these.
And it's
So
okay.
I don't know what I don't told him. But I just know that I thought he let me walk right back out the door. I don't remember being in there no more than 5 minutes.
And if you don't remember, that's all you have to say is you don't remember.
I keep telling you I don't remember.
And I have to ask you specific questions. So if you don't remember,
This is not productive.
Mr. Steele, I need to see an objection, not commentary, okay? So,
Prosecutor is not.
no, that's not,
It's
that's,
not
that's,
court.
that's,
Doesn't instruct the witness in front of the jury. I object.
I'm overrule objection, sir.
Prosecutor just said, I need you to say you don't recall. That's it.
Oh, well.
yeah.
Mr. Short, I'm gonna overrule your objection. That's not what the prosecutor asked, okay? So, all right. You can continue, madam.
Do you remember or do you not remember if Detective Thorpe actually?
I don't remember.
All right. Do you remember Detective Thorpe asking you if you've ever been stopped in an infinity before?
Can you say it again?
Sure. Do you remember Detective Thorpe asking you if you had ever been stopped in an infinity before?
Your Honor,
Sure.
can we be oriented to the date of this meeting?
Sure.
We're talking about the same January 11, 2015 interview.
I don't know what mean. Whatever you told me to say, I don't know. I don't.
Do you remember back on January 10, 2015, any cars following you home the night that Donovan Thomas was killed?
Can you say that again?
Sure. On the night that Donovan Thomas was killed, do you recall any cars following you home, specifically following you into Carver Homes?
I don't remember.
Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe that you were heading into Carver Home and you saw a little red Camaro following you inside of the apartment complex?
I probably did.
I need to know, do you remember or do you not remember?
I told you already. I don't remember. You keep asking me.
So if you don't remember, just say you do not remember.
Your Honor, I object to this. You can't delegate the court's ruling. I object to this type of work.
Well, Your Honor, I'll ask.
I'll sustain the question. I'll sustain you.
Your Honor, then I'll ask. You can instruct Mr. Copeland if he does not remember, just to say he does not remember.
Mr. Copeland, just answer the question to the best of your ability, okay?
I thought I did, Judge.
You're
I told her I don't remember no conversation I had with. She trying to cross me up. She trying to say this and that when I don't told her I don't told the police anything they wanted to hear for them to. And she keep asking me over and over.
gonna have to answer the question, sir, okay?
So is your entire interview with Detective Thorpe a lie?
Huh?
Was your entire interview with Detective Thorpe a lie?
I don't know. I can't tell you what I told him. You got to tell me what I told him.
Okay. So we're going to keep on going.
But I don't. When you tell me what I told him, I'm telling you now. I probably did tell him that. I'm telling you, I told him that.
Okay. Well,
So,
but you have to tell me which ones are lies and which ones.
You're correct, sir. Mr. Copeland, do you have something else you want to add to that response?
I can't remember.
Do you want me to repeat the question?
I can't remember what I had to say.
Do you want me to repeat your response up until that point in time?
You got to tell me what was said.
Okay, hold on just a second. We can help you out with that. I'm sorry.
When you told me now, I probably did tell him that. And told me I told him that, so.
Can you say that again?
She said, was your entire interview with Garth a lie? He said, I can't tell you what I told him. You gotta tell me what I told him.
Right.
And so he said, so we'll keep going. He's weighing. And then he said, well, you told me now, I probably did tell him that. I am telling you I told him that, so. And then the son said, but you have to tell me which ones are lies. And then they interrupted.
So how I supposed to tell you which one is a lie if I don't know, if I can't remember what I told him? I can't say this is a lie and then you try to say, well, you said this right here. I don't know. I don't know what I told him.
Back in 2015, did you tell Detective Thorpe in the same January 11th interview that you get blamed for everything and that your name comes up in everything?
Yes, sir.
Back in January of 2015, did they shoot at your at Deshaun's mother's home the night of the murder?
I don't know if it was the same night, but at one point it was.
And did that shooting prompt you to go speak with Detective Thorpe on the morning of January 11, 2015?
They called me. I think that's how he was able to get my phone number. But I can't recall if it was or not.
Were you scared because they were shooting up your family's house back on January 10, 2015?
What you mean?
Mr. Sharp.
I object to the use of the pronoun they. I would ask for specificity.
So vague?
They.
Vague? Is your objection vague? All right, I'll sustain that.
Were you afraid because your girlfriend's mother's house was being shot up?
What you mean?
Were you afraid because people in your family's homes were being shot up on that back in January 2015? Were you afraid because people's homes were being shot up?
You asking me, was I afraid, or what did I tell the police I was afraid?
I'm asking you now, were you afraid?
I was afraid for the people who was in the house.
And do you know who all was in the house? You shook your head. Is that a no for the record?
No.
Okay.
I don't remember who was in the house.
Now, in that interview, did you give Detective Thorpe the reason why you thought Kel was beefing with you?
I probably did. I don't remember. Which one I supposed to say it?
Okay. Do you recall telling Detective Thorpe that this is all about you not being down with it no more and being down with the gang anymore?
Yes.
Do you recall telling him that it's also because they now think that you're with Thug and that you're claiming YSL?
Yes.
Yes, you remember telling him that?
I guess. If that's what he said, I said.
Do you recall or do you not recall to telling Detective Thorpe that?
I don't know what I done told this man.
Okay. So, sitting here now, was the beef because you were no longer down with them and you were down with YSL?
Yes, I guess.
Is it yes or you guess?
If that's what he said,
I'm asking you right now today.
I don't know.
Now, during this interview, do you recall giving Detective Thorpe your Instagram page?
Yes.
Okay. And what was the Instagram page that you gave him?
I don't know.
Okay. Was it Woody372?
Yes.
Okay. And 372, does that refer to,
I sustain the question.
what is 372?
Numbers.
And does that number specify something specific?
I believe it has. I'm going to sustain the objection.
Does the 372 correspond to the letters of DRC on the phone pad?
It could. I gotta look at the phone pad to see. How do you look at the phone pad to tell?
And is Woody372 the same Instagram account that I asked you about over the course of the last few days?
I guess.
So was that your Instagram account back in 2015?
My Instagram account is Woody vs. Woody.
I asked back in
From
2000.
back then, I think my Instagram account is the same account as it is today. Woody vs. Woody. I'm not 100% sure. I done did so much time away from society. You asking me about something I don't know how to answer these questions. I don't really, a lot of this stuff you talking about, like, I've been through too much to be trying to remember certain stuff or these questions you asking me. Like, you discombobulated me up here. Like, you want me to lie? You want me to tell the truth? I can't tell you the truth. If you sitting here, I don't know how to answer these questions. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what y'all got going on. Like, for real. Like, you asked me about 2015, what somebody said to the investigators. You know how many investigators tried to question me about this?
Yes, and we're going to talk about a few of them. So do you recall your Instagram being Woody372?
I don't recall.
Bless you.
Course indulgence. Now, Mr. Copeland, did you speak with Detective Thorpe about your concerns that people from If Gang wanted to kill you and Thug?
Yes.
Do you recall why people wanted to kill you and Thug?
Yes.
Okay. Why was that?
Why was what?
Why did people want to kill you and Thug?
Oh. I said that?
Do you recall telling that to Detective Thorpe?
I don't know what I don't remember what I told Detective Thorpe.
Do you recall telling Detective Thorpe that you heard about a meeting in which an individual named Mo, who was down the road, conducted?
Yes.
And that during the course of that meeting,
I'll sustain the objection.
what do you remember telling Detective Thorpe about your understanding of this meeting with Mo and other members of If Gang?
I don't remember.
Hold on, wait, Mr. Copeland. Basis.
Oh, for hearsay. We need to ask about his pleasant testimony.
I'm gonna overrule your objection, okay?
Okay, can I rephrase? No foundation to get prior statements until he's asked.
I'll sustain that one. I'll sustain that.
What was your understanding of a meeting with Mo back in 2015 regarding you and Thug?
I don't know what I told Detective Thorpe.
Objection on a non-responsive answer.
I'll sustain the objection.
You need to respond.
Mr. Copeland, you have to answer the question, okay? If not responsive to
How could I answer the question to something I don't know?
Miss Hilton's gonna. Well, actually, just repeat the question, Miss Weaver.
What was your understanding of the meeting with Mo back in 2015 regarding you and Thug?
I don't know nothing about no meeting. I don't know nothing about no meeting.
Okay. Do you recall telling Detective Thorpe about this meeting with Mo and that he was supposed to kill you and young Thug?
I don't remember what I told Detective Thorpe. I'm saying yes to your question because you saying something I said to Detective Thorpe. So I'm saying yes to everything you saying, but I don't know nothing about where I supposed to told Detective Thorpe. So you trying to, I don't know what y'all trying to do. Like,
Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe that you called other people to confirm whether or not this meeting occurred?
I don't know what I told Detective Thorpe. I don't remember what I told Detective Thorpe. I told you, I thought that once he questioned me, once I came down there, he said, well, you came, you free to go. I don't remember sitting down talking to him.
So you don't remember the interview at all? Or what you said during the interview?
Your Honor,
Yeah.
specificity about what interview.
Did you say that?
I'd ask for specificity about what interview.
So, what's your objection, sir?
They,
I sustain the objection.
We can move on, Your Honor.
All right, madam.
Did you have any issues with Nut?
With who?
With Nut?
What you mean?
Did you have any problems with Nut?
I wouldn't hope not.
Do you recall, you said you hope not. Do you recall sitting here today if you had any issues with Nut?
I don't know.
Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe that you did not have any issues with Nut? And matter of fact, that you and Nut would see each other and dap each other up?
Yes.
Did you remember telling Detective Thorpe that Nut was somebody that you could talk to?
Don't know nothing about all that.
Okay. Do you remember?
I don't know yes, I said it to him. I don't know.
Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe about the last conversation that you had with Nut?
I had a conversation with Nut.
Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe about a conversation that you had with Nut?
I don't remember what I told Detective Thorpe.
Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe that when you saw Nut, he just told you to chill out and you told him.
Hold on, Mr. Steele's objection. Hearsay? I sustain it. Oh, are you repeating what? Where's that coming from, madam?
Your Honor, it's going to be effective on the listener. It's going to be what his response was.
I'll overrule the objection.
And that you told Nut, I'm just trying to get some money.
Was I supposed to say it to the police?
You told the police
Yes, I said it.
that was your last conversation with Nut.
I guess, yes. I don't know.
When you say you don't know, what do you mean?
I don't remember what I told any police. I do not remember what I have told them.
And at this point, do you understand that I'm just trying to figure out what it is that you remember and what did you know?
You lost me.
I sustain the question as to the form.
Do you recall being concerned that it was a whole gang after you?
You talking to me?
Yes, sir.
You say that again?
Do you recall in 2015 being concerned that there was a whole gang after you?
You said, did I tell that to the police, or you asked me, was I?
I'm asking you, were you concerned that there was a whole gang?
Not even a little bit.
Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe, and now these niggas show up at my girl's mama's house, and it's the whole gang. It's the whole clique. You know what I'm saying? They deep. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that put fear in my heart. Now I have to watch everywhere I go. I have to watch out. It ain't nothing I can do about it. I didn't have nothing to do with this. I didn't kill him. I ain't never killed. I ain't never tried to fight him. I ain't never tried to rob him. I have never done nothing to Nut. Do you recall telling the police that?
I guess. I don't remember.
Okay. Now, do you know back in 2015 who was beefing with Nut?
How I supposed to know that?
Do you recall being asked about that in the January 11th, 2015 interview?
I don't remember no. I don't know. I don't know.
So you're saying you don't remember?
Whatever the detective said, I told him. That's what I told him.
I want to go back to the gambling house for a moment. Do you remember at the gambling house whether or not vehicles were shot up at the gambling house?
What gambling house?
The gambling house in Lakewood.
What about it?
Do you remember earlier talking about a shooting at that gambling house?
Was I there?
Do you recall telling the detective that you were on this January 11, 2015 interview that you were present at the gambling house when Kel shot up the gambling house?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know if you were there or you don't know if you told Detective Thorpe?
I don't know. I don't recall nothing about the gambling house.
Do you remember in the January 11, 2015 interview telling Detective Thorpe that he shot everybody's car up, you know what I'm saying? But didn't nobody know it was him, and then he got into it with his girl, and she came back and said it was him.
I guess.
You guess, meaning you don't remember if that's what you told Detective Thorpe?
I don't remember nothing I told the police.
Right. And then, do you recall to tell Detective Thorpe that Thug wanted Kel to pay for his window that got shot up?
Probably so.
Probably, or do you remember telling the...
Do you have an objection?
The same repetition. He answered the question.
Your Honor, it's not...
For your objection, sir.
Prosecutor doesn't get to then not.
No. What's the basis for your objection?
Improper question from a litigant.
I'm gonna-
From the court if you don't think it was asked correctly.
I'm going to overrule the objection, sir.
I'm going to do that next
I'm going to overrule the objection.
Do you remember if Thug wanted Kel to pay for his window?
Is this what I told the police?
I'm asking you.
I don't know. I don't remember nothing about the gambling house.
Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe that Thug wanted Kel to pay for his window?
I do not remember what I done told the police. I just know.
And do you recall telling Detective Thorpe that Thug said you were going to pay for the window?
I guess.
Does I guess mean you remember telling Detective Thorpe, or you don't remember telling Detective?
I don't have my whole thing with talking to the Detective Thorpe was to get him out my face.
So did you tell things to Detective Thorpe that was a lie to get him out of your face?
I don't know. That's a trick question.
It's whatever honest question answer that you want to give.
Well, I told the detective whatever came to my head to try to get up out of there.
And was whatever came to your head the truth about what happened or not the truth about what happened?
I don't remember what I told him. So I can't say if it was a truth or a lie. I don't remember what I said to the investigator, but I know I don't recall a lot of these things that you're saying. I don't remember.
Okay. Was Nut in a gang?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you recall telling Detective Thorpe that Nut?
I didn't know Nut personally.
Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe that Nut was the big dog, but they big dog, but it ain't they big dog, but he's not over the whole gang, but he's a big dog?
I guess.
I guess meaning.
I don't remember.
All right. Did you and Nut ever talk about Kel and your issues with Kel?
I don't think me and Nut would have been talking.
Okay. Do you recall telling Detective Thorpe that you and Nut have talked about Kel?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know what. No, I guess I don't.
So do you remember?
If Thorpe said I said it, I said it.
Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe that?
No, I don't remember. I told you that when Detective Thorpe called me down there and tried to question me, I felt like I walked in and walked right back out. I don't remember sitting down talking to him.
Now, during the course of this interview, do you remember if they came in and swabbed you for gunshot residue?
I don't think so. I think I just remember. I remember he was laughing like, "Dang man, the guy ain't even dead long, and everybody already saying you did it." I'm like, I don't know why, and I thought he let me go. I don't remember if they did. I don't remember anything further than I showed him my face and he let me go. So I don't know what I don't remember what took place that day. To say facts.
As the interview progressed, do you recall giving more details about the night of the murder to Detective Thorpe?
I don't understand what you asked.
Let me just ask you this. On the night of the murder, do you remember if Deshaun went to the movies on the night of the murder?
So much going on. I can't. So much was going on. I was all over the place. I don't remember. I can't say what. I can't answer those questions because if I tried to, I'd be lying. I wouldn't. I can't really say.
Okay, I understand. Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe that Deshaun had went to the movies and at some point you had given her your brother's car to drive?
I probably did.
Now, earlier I asked you about a Camaro following you inside of your apartment complex the night that Nutt was killed. You said, do you remember that occurring?
I don't remember.
Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe that you turned into Carver Homes off of Pryor Road?
I don't know.
And you saw a Camaro and it was flying behind you?
Oh, excuse me. I don't remember what I told Detective Thorpe again.
And that when you turned left, the Camaro went straight, and instead of going to the front door, you went around to the gate?
I guess.
Do you remember telling him that, or you don't remember?
If he said I said it, I said it.
Do you remember telling him that?
I don't remember having a conversation with him. I don't remember what I was telling him when he questioned me.
All right. So the gate card was to Deshaun's apartment, and you were clicking it, and you couldn't go, so you went around front.
I guess.
Do you remember telling him that, or you don't remember telling him that?
I don't remember.
All right. And that you had your brother to call the police. Do you remember telling him that?
I had my brother to call the police?
Do you remember telling Detective Thorpe that?
I wouldn't know why my brother would be calling the police, but I don't remember if I said that to him. But if he said I said, I probably did.
Do you remember or do you not remember?
I don't remember.
Right. And so do you remember telling him that you saw the Camaro fly to the stop sign and it was going so fast that it missed it, but they turned and left behind? And when they turned left, I was in front of them. Do you remember telling him about the red Camaro doing that?
If a red Camaro followed me and I noticed it, I wasn't gonna let it. I don't remember. I don't remember.
Hey, Ms. Hilton, before we posit more questions, I have an good authority. We need to take a comfort break, okay?
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, given it's so close to lunchtime hour, how about we just have you come back for 1 o'clock, and then we'll see where the afternoon leads us, okay? All right. All rise. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Our jury has left us. Before we go ahead and break for lunch, Mr. Short, you can make your motion, and Mr. Matthews, you can make your motion. And I take it that you are making this on the basis of the witness's testimony as to January the 11th of 2015 in regards to the mentioning of your clients. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Just for the record, it's my objection and my basis for the mistrial is both constitutional Fifth Amendment right to remain silent, which
You're talking about pre-arrest silence?
well, I was going to get to that. There's the constitutional right to remain silent, but also the statutory Georgia
Constitutional
pre-arrest
privilege? Okay.
well, also the pre-arrest silence,
All right.
statutory, and Your Honor, we believe that those questions brought attention to my client's my client exercising those rights, and it was an inappropriate question, and we moved for a mistrial based on the comment on my client's silence.
All right. Ms. Hilton, do you wish to respond to that, and then I'll move on to Mr. Matthews?
I can. You want to do it individually, Your Honor?
Yeah. Yeah.
As relates to Mr. Stillwell, at the time that I'm questioning
Mr. Copeland.
Mr. Copeland, at the time of January 11, 2015, at that time, Mr. Stillwell was not a suspect in this case, so would not be counted as one pre-arrest silence. Additionally, looking at Dinkins v. State. Sorry.
Repeat that last thing. Is it Dinkins, you said, v. State?
Dinkins v. State, which is 295 Georgia at 289, which is a 2008 case. A prosecutor does not impermissibly comment on pre-arrest silence merely by showing that the accused demeanor and conduct during and after the crime, but before an agent of the state questions him and before he knows he's being investigated, were inconsistent with a defense such as coercion or justification.
All right.
Well, the jurors don't know when my client became a suspect or not. So,
Right.
I mean, the effect on the jurors, I don't really see how that's relevant.
And cannot further, again, Your Honor, the state's position is we weren't commenting on any of the defendant's silence, but again, to show that Mr. Copeland's demeanor now in court before these individuals versus when he was by himself in a interview room solely with the detective, that his answers are much different. And so that is the state's purpose and reason for talking about who was present with him in the room when he was conducting his initial interviews in 2015.
And Your Honor, just to respond to that argument, what undermines that argument is my client wasn't present yesterday when Mr. Copeland made it clear to the
What do you mean
prosecutor.
he was in the courtroom here, right?
But no, he wasn't present yesterday in some side room somewhere where several investigators from the DA's office and multiple prosecutors were all in a room talking to Mr. Copeland while he was a sworn witness in this case. And he let the state know that what I said in prior statements were lies. And,
Okay,
this is the
you were
truth.
disclosed those particular
I
statements.
was disclosed those
Okay,
same,
I just want to make sure. Okay,
last
all right.
night.
Okay.
But
And before he testified this morning, correct?
yeah, last night.
Okay. All right.
And so, but the argument that, oh, he's changing the story because he's in front of Mr. Stillwell, not only is there no evidence that Mr. Stillwell has ever threatened Mr. Copeland or Mr. Copeland is in any way scared of Mr. Stillwell, or any of these other gentlemen, but also the fact that it was disclosed yesterday to the state with none of these gentlemen present undermines their argument that that's the reason for asking that question.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, I'm still going to deny your motion for mistrial, and I'll note that you asked, as I said before, that you posited before the next question was asked. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Matthews, Senior.
Your Honor, as it relates to Mr. Marquavius Huey, our motion for mistrial is based upon the sworn testimony that has already come out from Mr. Copeland on yesterday. Mr. Copeland stated that he had met Mr. Huey in 2021. He had indicated that he had met him in 2015, didn't know him in 2015, or anything of that nature. So it's a bad question that was asked in terms of whether or not Quay was there back in 2015. So that's the first point. He did not know Mr. Huey in 2015. Secondly, Your Honor, that places it's a bad faith question. It places Mr. Huey's character in issue, and there's no basis. There's just no basis for that question to be asked. And because of those reasons, Your Honor, we would respectfully ask this court to grant a mistrial as it relates to Mr. Huey based upon those natures. There's just no good basis for that question to be asked. When the witness had testified on yesterday, not to be repetitive, but he testified yesterday, he didn't know my guy in 2015. So how could he have been there in 2015, or did he show up there at the interview with Detective Thorpe in January of 2015?
All right. Thank you, sir. All right, Ms. Hilton.
Your Honor, the question was a good faith basis. If you can recall, yesterday the state asked Mr. Copeland if he knew a number of these defendants. And so what the state did in order to perfect what occurred is asked about every single defendant that Mr. Copeland said he viewed in this courtroom, regardless of time, so that the jurors knew that none of these individuals were present with him at the time. Now, if Mr. Matthews wants to argue at closing argument that was the state shouldn't have asked that because Mr. Huey, he didn't know him, then that's a question for argument, but not a question for a mistrial, Your Honor.
Matthews, and I'll also note on your behalf and your client's behalf, Mr. Huey, that you have paused the next question before, made another motion before we pause the next question.
And
all right.
One more thing just to add to the record, Your Honor. And while I knew that the answer was no, the jury did not. And so we had to pose that question. And there's the one additional thing I want to put on the record after the close of this hearing, Your Honor.
All right. Anything else in regards to mistrial? All right. Ms. Hilton, what else?
Your Honor, as Mr. Shard just disclosed, the state turned over yesterday an email to all defense counsel regarding our interaction with Mr. Copeland on yesterday in the afternoon. I know Mr. with him in a room without any of the defendants present. The statement from Mr. Copeland was a sua sponte question to us or response to us as we were talking in the room yesterday, and that is why we immediately disclosed that information to defense counsel. But in addition to what we disclosed yesterday, Your Honor, the state also disclosed on Thursday, June 6th, as well as on Monday, June 10th, some additional information that Mr. Copeland has disclosed to us over the last few days. And so we have a copy of that email. We want to put it in the record, Your Honor. And we're going to mark it 400 Yankee.
All right. Okay. All right, counsels, enjoy your, sorry.
I would like the court to look into the appropriateness, Mr. Copeland, to my observations around your courtroom, outside your courtroom on breaks, is surrounded by several members of law enforcement with the district attorney's office and prosecutors, potentially other persons. I don't know why a sitting witness under oath is in a room with prosecutors during breaks, mornings, afternoons. It's totally inappropriate. There are people who are in your court's door. There's a double door where the court sits to its right that aligns with the witness chair. And I noticed people standing there in law enforcement while Mr. Copeland is testifying. He's making eye contact with them. I don't know if they're his brother. My point to you is this: what gives anybody the right to surround a witness, he's not in custody, and bring a witness? I'm sure Mr. Copeland didn't say to the prosecutors, I don't know this, Your Honor, so if you think I'm wrong, then just strike it from your memory. But I'm sure he didn't say, hey, you guys want to hang out in this room a little while? So I believe that he is being led on a tether by the prosecutors, and it is coercion. It is inappropriate. And why would anybody not be recording everything he said? And why do I have to get it in drips and drabs? So I am objecting to the the tactics of the Fulton County District Attorney's Office and whomever else they may have employed with a citizen, regardless of what the court may think of him or the prosecutors think.
I don't have any thoughts. So please don't put that in. Please don't put that in in the ether. Okay, but that's what you just said, sir.
Ether is
okay.
Clear. The court wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it either. So why is it happening? He's a.
So I have no interest other than I'm a referee.
Well, you're the referee who spoke with the witness without my presence.
Mr. Steele, we're not gonna get into that right now.
Well,
okay?
my point is, how is he being treated here? And why don't I have all this? And why is this going on? What an unfair trial for Mr. Williams. Think about it. If you were accused, Your Honor, and the judge met with this witness, with the prosecutor, and you sat next to me and Mr. Adams, you would say to us, what kind of case is this? Now he's being surrounded with all this law enforcement. My point is,
Your Honor, we're going to object that this.
I'm not going to be interrupted.
Mr. Steele, hold on. No, but you're Mr. Steele? Mr. Steele?
Yes, sir. What?
Okay.
I want to finish. I'm making a record for the court to understand.
Well, Mr. Steele.
I've never been interrupted in a court except for this one. You allow.
Well, you know, but the challenges in this point in time is that some of the things that you have said at certain points in time are not appropriate.
It's not true.
Okay, well that's the court's. The
court is wrong.
Well, you know, you have, everybody has an opinion, and it can certainly be reviewed at the appropriate time. But finish up so you can go ahead and make your record.
I'm not interrupting anymore about a prosecutor or anyone. This is a record. This is important.
Okay, but it's your allegation and assertion, sir. Okay, so. Well, we don't know that. We don't know whether or not they're true.
What's going on? Every time Mr. Copeland comes in the courtroom or out of the courtroom, he's escorted by a DA's office investigator. You see that? This court is observant. You're not just sitting there in a cloud. You see exactly what's going on. You hear the prosecutor tell you, we were in a room with Mr. Copeland and he said these things. Why?
Okay.
Why do I have to bring it up? You should be bringing it up. This is crazy. This is like communist Russia. Mr. Williams is having the worst trial. So I am moving, again, to stop intimidating the witness by the prosecution, leave people alone, and stop accusing. You've allowed the prosecutor Love to accuse me of misconduct.
Oh, but you've also accused her of hold on. You have accused her of misconduct as well. And remember what I told you about your professional remember what I told you about your. And she's going to take me down as opposed to you. So when I start talking, stop talking, please. Okay? I'll let you complete your record, okay?
I understand the one party talking. I got it.
All right. Okay. All right. So I told you, several times before, I told you and your colleagues, remember your professional responsibility. And let's not make this an ad hominem issue. I don't believe that either one of you are trying to do anything that would subvert your ability to practice law. So, but.
Ms. Love has intentionally lied to the court numerous cases.
Hold on. Let him finish. See, this is Mr. Steele. This is exactly what I'm saying. You cannot. It is not a good idea to state that your brethren across the bar are lying. Okay, at any time or any way.
I don't like doing it.
Okay, but don't. So don't. But don't because you don't have any proof. If you have proof of it, then if you have proof, there's a mechanism in law and under the rules for you to submit that question to the Office of General Counsel and for an investigation to occur. But please stop, both of you. I told both of you earlier, stop making these ad hominem attacks toward one another. Okay?
Everyone gets attacked. You say nothing.
Well, okay, but I've said something. You're going back to stuff that's happened in the past. So while I'm trying to deal with things that are current. So I told you all most recently, as of about a week or so ago, to stop all this. Remember I told you the world's watching you? They are. So please don't from this point on, do not accuse each other of anything. If you want to go ahead and do it, there's a proper way to do it, but don't bring it up in front of me. Okay?
I'm just making a point that this has been going on and it's abusive. That is my point.
That's your assertion, sir. As as a lawyer, okay? And maybe your frustration with everything. Like I told you, this trial's gone a long time. There's a lot of wear and tear, but everybody's got to rise above and be a professional advocate. That's what the system demands of you.
I'm not worn or torn. I am here to tell the court that from a objective, casual observer, could see what's going on here. It's inappropriate.
Okay. At the end of the day, I understand your concern that you have now shared with the court. Okay. All right. State, do you want to respond?
Your Honor, I just ask that the court strike the portions of Mr. Steele's, whatever that was, to the court regarding personal and ad hominem attacks on members of the state's team. Ms. Hilton will address the merits of the initial argument that Mr. Steele made. But as to personal attacks on members of the state's team, we'd ask that assertions that specific people have lied, that is disrespectful, that is unprofessional, and not one time has any such statement been made by any member of this team about anyone else.
Oh, I think, Ms. Love, in the past, you've made some statements.
I have never said
me.
anyone lied.
Yeah, you've made some statements about Mr. Steele and
Your
about.
Honor.
Well, just let me finish. I'm not done. All right, and about several others of your colleagues. I mean, and it may have been the heat of discussion and everything else. Like I said earlier, there's enough blame to go around for everybody. All right. So, but can we kind of stop that and draw things kind of forward? I've had 2 or 3 conversations with everyone about their obligations as professional advocates under the rules. Okay. And that while the court certainly agrees that ad hominem attacks are not, they don't make anybody look any good. They really don't. I mean, but I'm just saying I acknowledge that. I acknowledge what's been gone on in the past. So, and I ask that you all reflect upon that because, like I said, you can't say some of the stuff that people say to one another can't be taken back. They just can't. So, and that's just something that the court would just have you reflect upon.
Thank you, Judge.
Sides, okay?
And we just ask again that statements like Ms. Love lied be stricken from the record. Those are personal attacks. There's none been made, at least not this day.
I'm not gonna consider your ad hominem attacks. Either one is. Okay?
Thank you.
Or anybody's. All right? Okay. All right. Madam.
Your Honor, regarding Mr. Steele's assertions of our interactions with Mr. Copeland, we have not treated Mr. Copeland any different than we would treat any of our other witnesses in the state of Georgia. He is our witness. If he wants to be around us, he can. If he chooses not to, he doesn't have to be. The fact that he's saying we are coercing Mr. Copeland to speak is clearly not true given Mr. Copeland's testimony here today. If we were coercing him to speak, he would answer my questions and I would not have to sit here and go in a back and forth and struggle with him. So clearly we are not being influential on Mr. Copeland given our interactions with him outside of the courtroom. So again, Your Honor, there's nothing inappropriate about the state's interactions with Mr. Copeland. He is the state's witness. We can't interact. We have not influenced any of his testimony, Your Honor. And so we ask that, I don't know if it was a motion, be denied if that was what was being asked of the court.
All right. I'll include the state's Exhibit 400, the statements of the most recent email that you have disclosed to the defense in this case, for purposes of the record, and I will also, to the extent that I don't think of. Mr. Steele, let me just make sure. Are you again moving for mistrial, or did you make them within your statement? Did you ask the court for a mistrial?
Yes, based upon the totality of what I said, yes.
Okay, I'm going to deny that motion, and I will also note for the record that it was that the same was positive for the next question. Okay. All right, Mr. Matthews, you're eating up your lunch, okay? So,
I just want to put on the record that based upon my vantage point in the courtroom, I have a unique place where I'm able to see the jury, I'm able to see the witness, and I'm also able to see to the vestibule out here. And on yesterday, I just want to be clear that it's not only observed back here, but I have a unique place, and I observe a very large individual standing outside of that door, those two doors, staring at the witness during his testimony.
I noticed a large individual too. There's plenty of large individuals. They're law enforcement, or we don't know, but
I know it's a law enforcement.
Well, who is it? What's their name?
I know it's
Okay, well then we don't know it's law enforcement. But I have the same or better vantage. I have the same or better vantage than you do, and I certainly think that for reasons that we don't know, that law enforcement stand in that door for security posture, and that's the only reason that they're at that door.
Well, I understand. I'm just putting on the record.
Okay, well, when this is reviewed, and the court's going to look at what the court saw as well. So if you're thinking that there's intimidation or otherwise, I'm telling you, and I'm putting on the record for purposes of the record, that there are many law enforcement that sit in both doors of this courtroom for that reason and that reason only. And unless you can tell me who specifically was standing out there, as you say, and Mr. Steele said, looking at our witness, Mr. Copeland, then I don't see that. Okay? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Briefly, Your Honor, since no one wants to go to lunch with me, I saw the same thing that Mr. Matthews saw yesterday, with the large individual.
How did you see him? Your back's to the door.
Are you questioning whether I saw him or not?
I'm asking how you saw it.
I pivoted around and saw him.
Okay.
Because,
All right.
And because that we've seen people outside that door for 18 months, Your Honor. This person yesterday was glaring through that glass for at least 10 to 15 minutes that I noticed, boring a hole into the witness. So I just want to add that is what I saw. I don't know his name. I don't know if it was law enforcement. I believe it was. I've not seen any other individual with law enforcement do that to that witness or any other witness during the course of the trial.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, this, just so that the record is clear, could they give more detail, because there's no member of the state that fits that.
Yeah, I don't need.
And I
He
have
was
no
a
idea
gentleman
what
yesterday
that
dressed in black or dark clothing. That's what I saw.
Also, yes, Your Honor, and I don't know. We don't know who they're talking about, what they're talking about. Literally, no idea. So the idea, this insertion into the record of the insinuation that someone is intimidating anyone.
I'll also ask Captain Kendall to ensure that only law enforcement are allowed back there in the vestibule, so that that if there's any issue with anybody looking in the courtroom, that is removed. So, all right.
Thank you.
All right.
This is an easy one. And I don't know whether this is something that the court can give an instruction in regards to. I want the folks to just take notice of it. We've had some discussions before about the configuration of the courtroom. There's a lot of folks in here. We've got jurors who are sitting right there on the front row who are closer than they would normally be to the parties in this case. I've noticed over the course of the last number of weeks and months, quite frankly, and I'd like the court to either remind the state, or maybe because it could be inadvertent, but maybe they can take note themselves of the fact that sometimes their facial expressions, their reactions, their statements to each other, their conversations to each other are done so close in the presence of the jury that it can't help but impact the jury. There was one time last week where Ms. Hilton was attempting to introduce a document, and there was some frustration because there's an objection, and Ms. Love reaches over and says, and I could hear it from over there, just show them the original. Just show them the original. And you know, those type of conversations and you know, when someone's upset with a ruling and roll their eyes or makes a facial expression or throws up their hands in front of the jury, 2 or 3 feet away from the jury, can't help but impact the jury. And so if the court needs to just remind the parties that we've got a jury that can be impacted and they need to be a little bit more circumspect, they can do that. Or perhaps my colleagues across the aisle can take note of that themselves and act accordingly.
All right, sir. Yeah, there's not a lot of room, and I wish you'd have brought this up earlier, but I certainly agree with that. I'd advise all counsel to just be mindful of their reactions as the jurors watch everything, okay? All right. Mr. Short, did you have anything else? I know that...
No, I'm good.
Okay. Okay, all right, okay. All right. Enjoy your lunch. We'll see y'all back about 1 o'clock, okay? All right, we're in recess.